I think all of us can say that we fear that leap of faith, that finding comfort in the people, that going the extra distance and seeing the things we never thought possible in ourselves and in others. And that is the ultimate wonder experience.
Yo.
Thanks everybody for joining again. With me is my boy Alexander the Great. Today we're going to bring you another episode on the ins and outs of crypto, since we gave you a basic overview on the last podcast episode and everybody seemed to kind of enjoy it very much. So we got a lot of plays, a lot of listens, and a lot of downloads. So how you doing, Alex?
Man, I'm pretty good. You know, we've been already chopping it up for about an hour and already talked about so many good stuff, and wish I would have said it here, but here we are, and got some good things to go over. So I'm happy to do this again, and I'm glad to have got such good feedback from last time.
Right. Well, I currently think, if I'm not mistaken, we're in the beginning stages of a bull run, are we not? Actually, no, I'd say we're more on the up and up, just before we hit that peak. There's a dump phase.
I'll say first off, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not buy, sell, or do anything because of the things I say. These are all just my personal opinions. I'm a crypto enthusiast, and this is what I do because I love it. So right. Yeah, to say more on that, I'd say absolutely. If you match up 4-year cycles, I personally believe in them, because as the story is telling us something, why believe anything different until it proves to you that the story has changed? So when we look at the formations from 2013, 2017, and now today, we are right there before that final blow off top stage. You know, the real time to be buying and accumulating most of these assets was a year ago, 2 years ago, March 2020, when the whole market crashed. I myself didn't get in right then. I got in slightly after that, but not to say that there still aren't assets that you can buy today that are still going to make you money. A lot of these assets that you find on Coinbase, specifically, we'll talk real quick about kind of the current trend, because that's what everybody wants to know about. The first it was Doge, then it was Sheeb. Now Doge has a girlfriend. Now we're talking all these silly things that they don't even do anything. It's not real. It's not having utility driven. This is a pure hype wave where, a lot of the time, big financial institutions, they get behind these things and they pump them with you, the retailer. And then at the end of the day, they dump on you and take your money, and you're stuck sitting with the bag. So, yeah,
which is honestly something I've seen a lot of people do, especially in your experience. My experience is like, I don't know how many college students I talk to, and they're just like, yeah, so I'm on Doge. What do you think about it? And I'm like, dude, that's like 6 months ago, man. You need to get with the times.
It really is such a fast changing market, where I'm sitting here studying for 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day. Not only that, but I have a team or networks that I'm in of all these people who also love this, and they do it as their full-time job. So when you got me studying for 8 hours a day, and then we have 10, 15 other people studying for that amount of time, I'm just one part of that collective, and we're really putting in hundreds of hours per day. And we're all discovering new things every day, hardly ever even touching the same topics of one another, because there's so many niche areas. Like what brings us to recently with the gaming aspect, and how Facebook called himself Meta, Decentraland, Mana went off, Sandbox.
Yeah, they went absolutely parabolic. Do you think that was because of his announcement, or the jolt of retail investors, or actual real life market like Activision and people like those? I wanted to get in on it.
Yeah. Now, me personally, I don't actually know how these two things with Facebook and the metaverse align. They might. I haven't done the research to find out. That's why, I was invested in some of those a while ago. I made great gains on them, and I cashed out and moved to other things. So I didn't catch those rides. But long story short is this is really one of our first examples of what happens when real world utility and enterprise or financial institution, like big, well-recognized names, comes to the crypto space. Look how everybody FOMO'd. Look at how everybody just jumped in and they're buying those all-time highs. See, that's not what we do. We don't buy all-time highs. We buy it when it's down here when nobody's talking about it, and we ride that thing all the way to here, and now everybody hears about it and they FOMO, and you get that parabolic move where now you're taking profits, they doubled your money, and you 30x'd your money.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't really understand that whole concept. A lot of people I feel are in this mindset that like, I got to work hard for my money. I can't make my money work for me. I can't do these things. And it's just like, bro, like literally time and time again, I've seen people go from basically not even millionaires. Some people have made like 100,000. Like I think one person made like what was it? There's a guy with 6 billion sheep tokens that is just holding the bag, just hodling it.
He forgot his password, believe me, or it's somebody somewhere that's
something. I mean,
I don't know. Who knows?
The only thing with that coin that I can see is that they're talking about burning the tokens. For those that don't know, there's like, I think like 309 trillion tokens, which like
hundreds of trillions.
That's more than the world's net worth. So for that to even be a cent, like, and that's not to say I don't have like maybe 20-50 bucks in it just for giggles, just for funsies.
Alan got some sheep.
I got some sheep just on the well, no, okay, so here's my point on that. So like me and Alex were having a conversation. We talked about Doge. I ended up selling right before the big push. That shit skyrocketed to 70 cents. Had I kept the bag that I had, I'd have $40,000 in my account. So like, I'd rather just like have some money to throw away. Doesn't do anything cool. And the only time you're ever going to lose money on these coins, really, like you're never going to be able to pull it out, get it back, is when, you know, the government comes in with regulation, which I think is basically what this whole XRP case is to just get rid of these FOMO, these shit coins. Because let's face it, everybody that thinks the government's their friend is not. It's not your friend. It's not, the system is not designed for you to succeed. Every step of the way there's a hurdle. And now with the recent IRS coming out and saying they wanted to make it a felony to own some of these assets, or even the woman who thought it would be a brilliant idea on the Federal Reserve saying that we should tax people on their passive, or not passive incomes, but unrealized gains.
Yeah, unrealized gains.
It's just astronaut, like they see the money and they want a way to control it. They don't want you to have this ability to be free. And I think a lot of people are living in so I like to look at it as there's slaves, there's predators, and then there's actual humans on the savannah. So which one are you? Like,
shoot, I'm just sidestepping them all, getting out of their way, doing my thing. I'm doing the thing that the whole world is telling me, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. Are you crazy for gambling all your money? You know, so I want to take it back to regulations. You know, the Ripple lawsuit is about regulation, but the thing is they've got everybody thinking regulation isn't here. Regulation actually has already been here for a long time. Like we're talking 5, 6, 7 years, because these huge companies already have a ton of rules to follow. And it's something new. So all the rules aren't here yet. They're still developing because we're not seeing the real world application for these coins that I told you with utility, such as, you know, Facebook being metaverse, popping that off. What's going to happen, you know, when, you know, Google and IBM and Boeing and every other big name you could ever think of comes to Hedera Hashgraph, and they're organizing all their inventories, or XRP and the bankers are using it, or XLM and the whole world is trading and using it on their phone, or VeChain and it's an inventory tracking system, or, you know, all these coins are popping off lately, or Quant, you know, already super high price, but partnered with nearly every bank everywhere, you know, at least to some extent. But I want to talk about the FUD too, the fear, misunderstanding, the doubt, the deterrence,
the advertisements.
The things that the news does. They're over here telling me that Bitcoin is going to go to 500,000, right? And I'm over here thinking, man, they told me this last time before they dumped on everybody. Yeah. And at the same exact time, you have some people in political government positions saying, hey, you know, in regards to cryptocurrency, direct quote from Rosie Rio, United States Treasurer, she's on 1.6 out of 1.7 trillion dollars in circulation. She says in regards to cryptocurrency, the train has already left the station. This thing's happening with or without you. It doesn't matter what anyone believes at this point, because all the things in your wallet, where's my wallet? Let's see what I got. You know, I got 1, 2, 3. I got 3 visas alone. MasterCard, Discover, have all these things. And these coins will already all be using blockchain technology behind the scenes. You won't even know you're using it for a couple of years before they tell everybody. So now to wrap it up with the FUD, they're just telling you all these things. They're sending you one message and sending you another saying, hey, we're going to take all your money. You're in trouble if you own this stuff. And at the same time, hey, you can't trust this stuff. But that's all I got to say about that stuff before I get
it's
into
really
some
kind
of
of
the
an
main points I had.
interesting like paradigm shift on the news. Like you got some news stations that are like, yeah, this is the next big thing. Some news stations are like, this is the devil. And then you got several different organizations ranging from, Warren Buffett saying, crypto's not here. But then my whole thing is
But yet you see Warren Buffett owning Bank of America.
Yeah, owning Bank of America
been working
stock
with some of these cryptos since 2014. They're all liars.
Well, I don't think he may or may not. I mean, that's the ultimate thing is you can kind of hide your crypto and nobody knows exactly who it is or how you can track it. And I think that's why the government's trying to control it so heavily.
Well, the thing is, we've all actually been alluded to this belief that, hey, crypto is this ghost thing. You can't track the ghost. You don't know who owns this. But in all actuality, the NSA, hello, hi NSA, everybody say hi because they're probably listening because I probably said some words now that I've flagged some stuff when this goes up on the internet. That's also the problem with the internet we have today, how it can be censored and monitored the way it is, and why moving to some of these coins that are dealing with the Web 3.0, i.e. the internet of value, this is going to make it so your governments can't fuck with you, so that when I'm in America, I can see what's happening around the globe. Google doesn't censor what I'm allowed to see. Get a VPN, put your location at every different place in the world, type in the same exact thing on Google, and you'll see that you get a different result every time. See, that's not right. Yeah. The truth is suppressed. And now I know I just ranted a little bit, so I'll bring it back to, talking about, here's my first point is what is crypto? Because everybody seems to think, hey, it's this, what gives it any value? It's just this magic kind of money. It's not money. It's a messaging system that moves a message from point A to point B. Simply, Bob buys something at point A, and then this person solves a transaction in the middle, and then it goes here to solve. That's all it is.
Well, I also think that people need to realize that this number system is kind of like a VIN number, where like when it's on a car, you can tell where it was made, how it was made, what time it was made, what month it was made, what color it has. Like that's basically what crypto is.
And how much it was sold for. Exactly.
And how much it was sold for and who bought it.
And how much the product cost and the entire breakdown. Everything will be inventoried and tokenized like that. So what I would say is, say you go to the grocery store and you buy some food and you swipe your card, and then you get on your online banking and you see that it says pending next to your statement. Well, that's because that money hasn't cleared yet or processed to the other side. This is a system where you swipe it and in 2 to 5 seconds, it clears. Moving money is so fast. And it's so important because as we also speed up in the world, when we use things more digitally, that'll mean more things are actually moving faster than they do today. Today, things move at a 3 to 5 day speed, and they're going to move at a 2 to 5 second speed, which is going to increase all these businesses such as like e-commerce and any sort of material production service, because they'll be able to get their moves processed faster. They won't be sitting on their inventories as long.
I don't think people really realize how big of a deal that is. Like we've never seen anything like that in history. And even with Amazon shipping,
it's going to be like
ridiculous fast.
When you live in Nebraska and everything's a 1 or 2 lane and you're driving 55 when you feel like you should be going 70, and then you go to LA and everything's a rat race of 8 lanes and everybody's driving like they're on a racetrack and the speed limit says 70, but everyone's doing 80 and you're causing problems. So that's what the whole world's going to open up to be. We're going to be like LA on that level on a highway. But so the second point I want to come to is, how to know what kind of coins to buy. What makes these coins have value? And that's simply where doing your own research, creating the team that will help you find these answers, being a part of group chats, interacting with people on the web. Because you'll be surprised once you start researching and putting stuff out there, people just hit you up and they come to you. And you did not know that these other people were actually as into it as you are, which I've experienced that as well. And it's very cool. What would you say, Alan, on, how do you know what coins to buy? What would you look for today?
So let's just take one of the coins, for example, that's like lesser known that I haven't seen it advertise it. You pick VeChain or Chills. Let's just talk about that since we brought those up.
Shoot, the thing is, that's the next
They
part,
do
right?
two different, yeah, they do two different
Well,
things.
they do two different things, but what I'm saying is it's hard to even say what is crypto today because there's so many real use case specific niche areas that they're all going into.
Right.
And
So
now
maybe
it comes down to deciphering which area is going to survive.
Right. So maybe I should break it down like this into simpler terms to kind of fucking let people digest. So if you think about it in layman's terms, you have the tracking coins, which are like VeChain. You can make an argument for XRP, but that's more
H-bar.
Yeah. Or I'm trying to think of the other tracking coins. Some of the NFT coins would be a good example, like Chills,
Solana,
for example.
Solana, Cardano,
Cardano.
Ethereum, XRP coming there, Hedera Hashgraph NFTs coming there, yeah.
But some of these coins don't necessarily have the network backing for the NFTs, so they're more of a transference coin. And what I mean by transference is they take a set amount of money and they transfer it to another location, like Alex was saying, within seconds. The deposit will be realized instead of taking those several days to wire the money. It'll just happen instantly. And then you have your storage coins, like Filecoin, Tron, and then you also VeChain. Yeah, you have all those that basically what it's going to do is we don't have enough servers. So what it's going to do is you're going to open up your computer and you're going to have a storage base to be a server, and it'll have a protected VPN within that server in order
Web
for
3.0.
Yeah. And then you have your wealth storage coins. So these are coins you could make an argument probably like Bitcoin and Ethereum and maybe even Litecoin. That's going to be like your gold, your silver, your copper, and your bronze, if you want to put it in layman's terms. So we don't necessarily know if coins like that are going to stick around. I would imagine they will, but I imagine that one or two is going to happen because I don't think either of those are going to go away because so many wealthy people own those coins. I imagine that what's going to happen is it's just going to be like gold or silver where people will store it. They won't actually use it, but they'll hedge against it on a loan so they can buy more assets down the road to make them more money. Whereas, the XRP, the XDC, the XLMs, these transaction coins are going to be the real big heavy movers in with Solana, another one, which is a token that's not centralized that allows, I think it's like 10,000 transactions per second now, or is it gone up?
They boast up to 50,000 transactions per second in the World Economic Forum June 2021 document at the bottom.
I couldn't remember because when they first came out with the coin, they were saying 10,000 a second, but I think they were downplaying it so people wouldn't buy in. So yeah,
Solana's at an all-time high. So go check it out.
I actually own a coin of Solana. So I had several not 100, but like 60 coins of Solana, and then it reached an all-time.
Rode that wave from bought in $22 to $30 each. I sold my bag in 111 and 175 each. I'm still holding a small percentage of it, but honestly, it went up so much. I thought we were going to see another Filecoin move where it rode up from 17 all the way to 240, then dumped, and then it kept dumping. So, I did dump the bag, and whatever happens. I have a tiny bit left, but we're still there. I wouldn't buy it personally at this point in time.
Well, I just held on to like 2 or 3 coins in case it does decide to keep going, because it has. So like the other thing is like you got to be able to read these coins and know when there's a pump and when there's going to be a dump. So like for Solana, for a prime example, there for a while it was sitting at like $40 for like several months, and then it shot up to like 125, and then it sat somewhere around the 100, 125 range. And then I think it was a month ago.
Another dump.
Took a slight dump, back down to about $80 a coin, and then it shot right back up to about I don't know. I think it was like 230, 240, something like that.
Yeah, so put like this. That's why, like I said, we buy coins when they're on here, when they're not being talked about, because our research and study, and we sell when it comes up here. And when we're buying coins, we don't just say, hey, I need this asset. No, we look at the percentage that it's fallen on the day or a market trend. And when we see that the coin is down 20%, we can hop on and be sniping those sell orders, little by little by little, to get your dollar cost average position. And but I want to add one final point to the how to know what to buy. I look at a couple things when I'm really debating what kind of asset I'm holding, and I'm not in this for the quick money. I'm in this for the long-term investment. And by long-term investment, I don't mean wait until I'm 59 and a half and I have to go work 40 more years to touch my money. I'm talking about I'm 26 years old, and by the time I'm 30, it's all going to have happened around us. So utility first and foremost, what does this coin do? And at this point, every single coin's like, oh, we're a payment processing thing. At this point, every time I look at something like that and I read that, I think, is this TV, HD, or 1080p? They're all payment processors. Okay, so now it breaks down into who are they partnered with. Partnerships are the most important, because Google isn't going to get in bed with somebody who isn't bringing real value. Their cloud storage, Amazon, PayPal, IBM, you name it. I don't care what it is. Walmart, Samsung, we're talking phones, we're talking internet services, everything in the world, real estate, insurance, commodities, lumber, water will be tokenized, right? And this is where you see the partnerships and see the strength. You see the members on the team. And now say you have a board of, say, 7 or 8 people. Now you look them up, see where they've worked before, you look at their connections. And this is how you can really do the deep research and see, hey, is this a good asset to invest in? Or, have a little help and just go on YouTube and watch their videos from some of the smart guys. But make sure, there's so much clickbait out there that even the good information is still clickbaity. But when you bite that hook, you get good information. It sucks when you click on that clickbait and they have bad information. And so this is where it's getting hard now to decipher through all the BS. So that's what I got to say about that. And, also what's also most important when you're trying, because we're all trying to make money here, right, is your price point entry. If the price is way high and it's already exploded, just wait. These things will come back down. But the point is of that as well is if you don't have any and you're just looking at crypto for the first time, get something, because having some is better than none, because it's not about timing the market. It's about your time in the market.
Right.
And that's what I got to say about that before we move on to the next.
Yeah, and I think people need to understand that not a lot of these coins are really extremely like peasant poverty, undervalued for what they are.
Yeah.
And I think people don't just have, like, they just either they don't want to or they don't understand, or I don't know what it is, man, because I've talked to some people about it and they're just like, well, I don't know enough about it to do anything. And I was like, that's honestly not a fucking excuse, man. Like,
yeah, they just don't want to take the time to look into it because, it's a really controversial thing too. But like I just said 5 minutes ago, it doesn't matter the controversy, because I'll open up my wallet and I already have 5 cards that are partnered with blockchain.
Yeah.
So,
or banks.
So we're all going to be using it is the point.
Or football organizations or soccer organizations, any number of things, or even art galleries. Did you see a couple art galleries have partnered with some of the NFT brands?
Yeah, I did see that. There was a club in New York City that you had to own a special NFT in order to get into their party.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty interesting. I will say the NFT hype wave, just so we're all super clear, yes, it has a smart contract on it. What the smart contract says is, I sold this 8-bit image to Allan. Okay.
Yeah.
This stuff has nothing to do with anything. You don't need these smart contracts to create things. They don't let you access things. And if people want to act like a New York party, fancy people party is the reason to access, that's not it. Okay. This NFT wave has no value unless the NFT was created based upon a game. And now if you buy this thing and it has rare items on it, it will help you inside of the game. But from my perspective, I don't give a flying shit about some stupid little game that people are paying tens of thousands of dollars for these things that help them in their game. And that's my point of view. Now, sidestep, I understand people are making money from it. So if you're going to look into it, you have to find a game where the network is either large and has a huge community doing it, or the community who is into it, they're obsessed with that game. They love it.
Or you got to look at the actual coin that they're using for the game.
And for me, to be honest, me personally, I will choose probably not to invest in those unless, one of my sources hits me up and they're like, hey, you know what? Here's this thing. We know someone for this reason, and this is why we're doing it. Get in it with us. I'll throw some in it to risk, but it is a risk, 100% risk. It is possibly the riskiest thing you could be investing your money in Bitcoin, in crypto, if not, in stuff like I said, Bitcoin. Who cares about 2x, even if it goes to 100K? I don't. And Sheep and Doge, they're all a freaking scam. Those are scams. But that I went off on a tangent, but that's really what it is. They aren't special. They don't do anything. And when people want to say, oh, it's artwork, I'm just like, bro, I went over to the museum in Kansas City the other day, and I'm pretty sure that's what real art is. Okay.
Well, and I think you need to understand that our reality is going to shift.
Oh, that might be awesome. And if I have a virtual reality house, am I going to hang some 8-bit image of some stupid
gorilla
or skeleton or a gorilla or some guy with shades on and a pink hat, and that pink hat's a legendary item, and that's why that thing cost me $70,000?
Well,
get the fuck out of here.
So here's the thing, man. I wanna bring that up to you because I did some studying into the art world because it really made me mad when I saw some of these paintings that were just like one stripe and stuff. So what it is, right?
Yeah, they're just 1 second done.
Yeah. So what it is, right, is people buy these things, right? They keep them as assets and they buy them for a certain amount. Let's use the apes. What are the apes called? I can't even remember. There's so many.
I don't know.
The crypto. Oh, well, let's do CryptoPunks. The CryptoPunks. Everybody knows CryptoPunks. So CryptoPunks, right? You buy it for, let's just put it in money terms. Let's say you buy it for like $3 million, which is what some of these are going for, right? So then you buy it, you purchase it, and if one of these art galleries decides to do a show, you can donate that and use it as a tax write-off. So for the next, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, you don't have to pay taxes on that $3 million.
Okay, dope. So it's a rich people game that they're pawning off on the retail idiots. So they all waste their money on something that there's no market for unless you're a rich person using it for a taxable write-off in that situation.
But
literally, I've talked to so many people about this who are like, NFT, people who own, they're like, look at my gallery of NFTs. I'm like, okay, bet fam. What are those doing for you? Oh, wow. Yours is number 666 out of 2000. So therefore that number is valuable. Oh, wow. Yours is number 420. So it's valuable. Bro, this is silly. All right. The thing is, last thing I'm going to say, I'm done ranting. NFTs, what we're being told today, it's a fucking joke compared to what NFTs are actually going to be once they hit real world utility. And I think they're making it a joke right now so that you don't take it seriously when it becomes.
Yeah, I would honestly say that's a good point. But I think, and the reason some of these coins, these metaverse coins took off is because eventually we're going to see a player one type of environment in the near future. And that's probably when these NFTs, they're not going to be so much like pictures or whatever, like of stupid little cyberpunks. They're going to be like some sort of weapon or some sort of
a virtual reality world item.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense how it costs so much. So, if I'm going to get a virtual reality world item and say I need a sword, and that sword costs me in US dollars, $5,000. You know what kind of sword I could go buy right here in this reality for $5,000?
$5,000. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all just pulled out of thin air. I just made that up. But let's not talk about that anymore. NFTs are a very confusing thing. Everybody seems to know about them, yet you don't know anybody who's actually making any money from them. There's always the internet guy that nobody knows. So that's
unless you're like an artist or somebody that's really rich, you really aren't.
Not an artist, a well-known artist.
Yeah. Because the only other thing you can do is, besides selling it, using it as a tax write-off, you can use it as a loan asset to gain loans from banks. But other than that, it doesn't serve the everyday man any purpose. Okay, so go on to your next point.
The last thing I'm going to hit on, just because people don't come at me and be like, oh, well, what about this, this, and this? So I'm going to tell you the other reasons they're used for too. So NFTs will also be used for music, whether someone wants to sell a song for royalties, they can break that track into as many pieces as they want to show ownership. NFTs can be used for rare collectible items of today, such as sports cards or really anything of rarity, and they can break that sports card into any amount of pieces they want. It'll be used for real estate, and they'll be able to break that down to any amount of pieces they want. What these NFTs will do is allow lots of individuals to take a piece of that chunk, and they'll be paid forever or have a store of value of ownership of that item. And what that does is, say a building is worth $100 million and they create an NFT for $100 million value of that building. Now they have enough people who have bought in pieces of that building who own a part of it, and now they've opened up the liquidity of the money that building was just sitting there doing. So now they still own the building, all these other people own it, and now they have all the money to do whatever they want with. Again, they can go buy another $100 million building. You know what I'm saying?
So basically what you're saying is it's a title contract for the most part, like you would for your car. All right.
I don't know. Enough about it. If I was really rich, I could figure out how to keep money creating itself, is what I'm saying.
Right. Okay. So enough about NFTs.
Yeah, enough about NFTs. Delete half that section. Jesus. I'd say, so what I want to go into is, take this a bit more seriously, is portfolio management. It's important for you, first off, to know how much money is in your total account and how much you are actually spending to get that number in. These exchanges do not tell you this information very clearly. That's because they want you to lose ultimately. So you just say an individual has, what should we say, Alan, 10,000 or 100,000? What do you want to do?
Oh, let's just keep it every day, man. Let's just
10 grand. So yeah. 10 grand. And to be realistic, if you don't have 10 grand to go put into crypto, you need to change that and get 10 grand at least to put into crypto, because it's what it's going to be. This is a new money. So you have your 10 grand and you have, say you own 12 different coins. Now it's important to take that 10 grand divided by, or that coin divided by the 10 grand to see what percentage each one you're holding is. Because that percentage can change. As some coins go up in value and down, that's fine if they change like that. But as you get more money, you'll decide how much you want allocated in each one. And when you do that, say you have 10 grand, you're holding 30 coins. What up? And you have some coins that are, shoot. Hey, hold on. I think someone's talking. One second, my chat.
Had some technical difficulties there, but that's all right. So we were talking about how to diversify your bag. So generally, for me, it seems like at least somewhere around 25 to 30% of your bag should be in one project that you absolutely will die on a hill for, is the recurring theme I've seen for most investors. Is that the same for you, or?
Yeah, I would say so. You have your projects that you really believe in, that you found that have use case, utility, partnership, strength of team, and the price entry point that allows you to be super bullish on it. Because it's just going to go up in the future. But again, for portfolio management, like I was saying, depending on the amount of money you're using, say you have 10,000. In that situation, I'd only recommend holding maybe 10 coins. But if you have 100,000, I'd recommend maybe holding, 20, maybe 25 coins. But then as you get up into like having, say, 500,000 or $1 million, I would say then that allows you to be a bit more spread out, because now you have enough money in these coins that when you do see these parabolic runs where, we're seeing 5, 10, 20, 30, and even sometimes to 50 to 100 to X, that's how you make huge life-changing wealth. So what's important is, it doesn't matter how much money you have. What matters is that you have enough in that bag to make a difference when it goes and you're not spread too thin.
So I guess my point is should you try to day trade? Hold on. Let's just put it. So if you have $10,000, should you try to day trade, or should you just try to hodl and keep throwing money at it like your ex-girlfriend?
if someone were asking, should I day trade? The answer would be no, because that means you don't know how. And all day traders don't just have a day trading bag and that's their only bag. They have their long term, their short term, their medium term, and their forever hold. And they also have bags where they've already made 50x, they sold 50% of the bag and they left all the rest to ride forever because that no longer matters. So the point is, they have that plus passive income so they can take those risks to day trade. So what I would say is, if someone had $10,000, it would be important just to look at real life utility long-term assets, because more than likely that $10,000 today in the right places could produce you what, an entire retirement account of a 401k and an IRA could produce over a lifetime's earnings.
Right.
And that brings me to my next point where, say you are dealing with a lifetime's earnings, and I don't know what that is for you or anybody else. We all have different numbers that I'm beginning to get kind of curious what everybody thinks, because we all have different opinion. But is a lifetime earnings to you, say I have $150,000 saved and I'm good to go? Or would you feel completely broke if you had $150,000? Or is it like, hey, I've got $500,000 to retire on, and that's good. And for a lot of people, that $500,000 to $1 million is reality that, they need that, but most don't have it. So long story short, it brings me to my next point of how to protect and secure your crypto investments, because obviously, there's a lot of stuff going around. Everybody who's in crypto, especially old people, thinks computers are scary and you're going to get hacked, right? So what you need to do is get your coins off of these exchanges. You cannot trust these exchanges. If there's rules and regulations by the governments of the location of these exchanges, of where they're located out of, and they're like, hey, you're no longer allowed to own this token, that exchange is going to take your coins. Okay, they can get hacked, and they're not backed. You have no protection if there's a server blackout or a freaking solar flare or whatever they want to call it. They could call it a cyber hack, and then it could just be someone getting in there and stealing everything, and it's like your own freaking government. All right. Now, I don't care if that sounds conspiratorial. I'm just being real on a situation of where you take $10,000 and can create $1 million. You know how many hours you have to work to make $1 million after you pay taxes on it and live your life? And at the end of the day, still have that money? It's impossible. So long story short, I'm going to break it down in 1 minute. You go online and you only buy a crypto cold storage wallet, either a Ledger or a Trezor. And these things, cold storage devices that will show you a 24 or 12 word password one time. You have to write that down and keep it secure. Your ability to be responsible for your own funds and your own money is what is going to make you rich. It's not going to be the banks holding these assets for you. It's going to be you doing it right here, right now. So you plug it into your computer. Always recommend using a VPN and using the Brave browser, because every time you log on to your exchange, if not using those, you're putting yourself at a potential hack or risk. So you plug it in, you take them off, you send it to the address, and always make sure you're adding the correct memo and wallet address. I personally, when moving large amounts of money, I don't just look it over once and double check it. I triple check it. I quadruple check it. No matter what, I will not make a mistake doing this, and neither can you. I know that sounds scary, but believe me, if all the numbers and letters are exactly the same, you will be okay. And this is where, owning certain transaction cryptos are important, because if you're sending a bunch of Ethereum or a bunch of Bitcoin, you're actually going to want a bunch of XLM or XRP to trade that. But that's a whole nother talk for another time. What's important is you buy one of these cold storage wallets from the website only. Do not buy them on Amazon. Do not buy them off of eBay. Buy them from the website only so that they're safe. Put your coins on there, tuck it away, never lose your passwords, and just look at that stuff in a couple of years. You're going to be set
I
up.
also should say, if you get one of these boxes, if you want to take the extra mile, get a lead box. For those that don't know, that dense metals, dense metals protect against radiation and stuff, which is pretty much what a solar flare is, and it corrupts the files within inside of the device that you're holding. So if you put it in a lead box, say 1/2 inch thick should be enough. Keep it in your basement, write all your passwords down. you should be fine for the most part. And don't be like one of these idiots that threw their
Go outside and bury that bitch in the ground.
So I guess one of the questions I want to ask the viewers, and maybe you guys can leave some comments in this story bubble that I'm going to make, or on any number of things, you can reach out to Wonder XP or Wonder AW on all social media platforms, and just tell me what you think what amount of money would set you free. And I think we actually have one of your friends listening in right now. I'm curious what he thinks, if he wants to talk about this real quick on air, since he's just now become a part of this.
Yeah, Marco, are you there? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
What so the question was, what amount of money do you think would set you free? The amount where you could go take care of all the things that you need in your life and also have enough to live and continue living freely after.
Kind of shot in the dark here, but I don't know. I'd say maybe 3 million.
But you know what? That sounds pretty good to me. He said 3 million. If you heard that, Alan.
Yeah, I think 3 million is a reasonable amount, honestly. As long as you use the 3 million to make more wealth, I don't see why that wouldn't set you up for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And you know what I'll say to that? So there's a couple things. There's a guy, Kevin Cage, great YouTuber. I love watching his stuff. He's taught me so much. And he does have a couple videos. He just posted the other day how he did a swing trading bag with 10,000 and turned it into 160,000 over just the past couple months. And he doesn't, force the trade to happen. He just does what I've been saying. Find the good assets at low prices, and he's patient. It's always patience. And he also has another video on how to turn $1,000 into $1 million. So this is a thing where you do have enough money to get into this if you do your research, whether you have just a couple $1,000s to begin with. I wouldn't say, a couple hundred is enough. I would say that you would probably need a couple 1,000 at minimum to even start your crypto journey.
Amen.
Yeah, man. I mean, especially if you want to see some gains.
Yeah, dead ass. I would honestly say, say if you had $10,000 and you put $1,000 across the board on 10 different investments that you found and believe in, that strategy right there, not saying I started with 10,000, but that strategy right there helped me make a lot of big gains. Where say, for instance, I had $1,000 on Mana back, shoot, I don't know, Alan, you were sitting at my table when we first talked about this.
Yeah, I think it was like 25, 30 cents a coin.
Hell no, dude. It was like 9 to 10 cents a coin. And you remember,
was it even cheaper?
I put $1,000 on it right there at the table. And then I waited and waited and waited. Shortly after, I got my first 16x return on my bag. I turned 1K into 16K. And that was just that one, that situation happened, quite a lot of times now, actually. I won't say how many, but a bunch. And it just patience is key. So last thing I really want to go over, so recap real fast before we top it off. So we've talked about what is crypto. It's just simply a messaging system that speeds up the slow legacy system of 3 to 5 days to now a system of 3 to 5 seconds. How do we know what to buy? We look at partnerships, the strength of the members at the board, see their partnerships and where they've previously worked at. And we also look at the price point entry. If we find a crypto that has all the things, but the price point entry isn't good, we add it to a list to watch that coin. And as the price dips, we can dollar cost average in and snipe those low buy orders and sell orders that we see come in. Building a team is important. Having people in your network to contact and work with, because there's so much ever evolving in this space that we cannot do it by ourselves. So it's important to get in group Discords and YouTube groups, be a part of a community, add something to it, and be a team. And first and foremost, and always have faith, because you got all these people around you telling you that this isn't real, but everybody in your groups, we all have faith. That's why we will see through to the end. The people who don't have faith and don't believe in this, they will not see the life-changing rewards we will. We talked about portfolio management, of understanding not to be too spreadly thin out. Really trust in your investments. And if someone were to say, hey, you can only have 20 investments your whole life, no more, you'd be very careful on how you pick those 20 investments. So
Warren Buffett quote. I like
so
that. There you go.
was that Warren Buffett? So
Yeah, that was Warren Buffett.
Look at things like that. This isn't a gamble. If you know what you're doing, it's calculated risk. That's what this is.
No more shit coins. Stop with the Doge. Yep. Stop with the cat girl, the elongate, whatever the hell. Like,
so
come on.
Side note, yeah, the meme coins, they will explode in value, but after they explode in value and then they drop off from their top, they don't come back because they were always just a meme. Lastly, we talked about how to protect and secure your crypto, which is buying a cold storage wallet from only the website and follow the simple instructions on how to set it up. Also, be using the Brave browser and a VPN on top of that. These things will protect you because we are self-custodying our crypto, not third-party banking custody. It's all our responsibility and it's our money, and that's why we'll see the gains in the end. So last thing I want to do is I want to top it off with just a general overview perspective of what's going on in the market. So the first thing, everybody, we all know about Bitcoin. So we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin right here, when I look at the 3-month trend, we've just straight consolidated sideways. Honestly, if we're looking at saying, hey, we're at the stage we're about to go, we'll probably see one little final dip and maybe not a big one, before we really see our next big parabolic run, but I could say, 20-30% dip before it goes. Yeah, I could totally see that. One last scare out, one last spread of FUD before we go. We look at Ethereum, and Ethereum is also looking bullish. Ethereum is integrating with so many things. We are at an all-time high Ethereum. If you don't have Ethereum, for instance, I bought my Ethereum back at $725 to $850 each. So now it's looking really good. I am already taking profits. See, and it's not good to be buying when I'm taking profits. Solana, wow, that went on a ripper this week. $260 per SOL. I bought this when it was $22 to $30 each, and that wasn't a long time ago. That was back like end of July when I made that purchase. And like I said, I already took profits and I'm still holding a small amount. Cardano, $2 asset. We're holding pretty steady. There's a really big believer base in Cardano, but keep in mind, we are kind of high on that one.
Yeah.
Some people have made 100x gains, and 100x gains are kind of scary to get in after that happens, in my opinion.
That and Solano kind of.
I bought Cardano a long time ago. XRP, I would say this is still a highly undervalued asset. We're only $1.15, and this thing is meant to, move the world's money. Think twice before skipping over this one. We can see on the year-to-date chart, there is long-term suppression. We have really just been in a sideways trading move for the last year. A bottom of 22 cents, but right before that, we were already up at 40-50 cents. Now we're only up $1.15. Let's get real. Some of these other assets have done 100x, and XRP's only done a 5x since the low. Let's get real. Polkadot. Sorry, I'm kind of going through all of them. There's just a lot of stuff to talk about. Polkadot right here, right now, we're up pretty high. I was buying DOT, down at the $15 to $20 range. Now we're up to the 50s. With the parachain auction coming on November 11th, I believe DOT's ecosystem is going to open up to a lot more to a lot more ecosystems. So yeah, I could absolutely see a 3-digit DOT incoming. Not financial advice. Dogecoin, number 9, a complete mockery. Shiba at 11, a complete mockery. And then let's go down and talk Avax Avalanche. Man, what a ripper this went on. This is one of my recent regrets, where I knew about this coin a year ago, when it was like cheap, like $3-4, right? And then it goes up to $30 back middle of the year. And I'm like, that's too high. And I don't know what happened. I just didn't come back to it and pick up that dip at $10. But if you got that one, nice job. We'll talk about Uniswap real fast. Uniswap is a leader in the DeFi community. They are having billions of dollars moving through the DeFi ecosystem every day. They have over $100 billion of locked liquidity in DeFi now. And if you look at the charts from just what happened in 2020, where there's only a couple 100 million at most in DeFi, and now there's 100 billion. I'm calling it right now. DeFi is here to stay, and DeFi will be a multi-trillion-dollar industry in a couple years. Chainlink, Oracle, man, this one has been coiling up for a long time. Only $31 a day. We're in the red today. Good buying opportunity. Good sideways consolidation on the year-to-date chart, and on the all-time chart, it really does look like we are ready to take the next leg up. I'm calling for a $90 to $110 chain link. You know, that's
which
where
it's already gone to 70 once, so that's not unreasonable.
That's where I will begin taking profits. I believe we will break past that. Polygon at $1.89. There's some big things in the works for Polygon coming up. Layer 2 solution right here for Ethereum. And the thing is about Polygon is if Ethereum does not want to work with Polygon, Polygon has already made a public statement that says they can plug into anything they want. Being that Ethereum is so well integrated throughout most of the coins in the crypto space, they can plug into any of them. Algorand, absolute train right here. $1.84. You know, I was buying algo back at the 20 to 30 cent range. We're still holding the entire bag. Have not taken one lick of profits because we have shot up, consolidated, held very strong support on the previous all-time high range. When we are coming in with higher lows on the all-time chart, we're getting ready to take the next leg up, and we will be seeing a $5 Algorand very soon. VeChain, wow, this guy has taken a long time, but just in the last couple of days, we've been lucky to see a little bit of price action. I've been picking up VeChain since the 6 to 11 cent range. We have higher lows every single time. We literally just took the leg up that broke past the previous resistance back in September. So my price prediction is we are going to go up on VeChain. I know some people have already got a lot of money, 15, 20x, 30x, 50x, whatever, but I do believe in a $1 VeChain. You know what? You know why? Because why the hell not? Okay. VeChain, if Doge can get there, VeChain can.
Can definitely get there. Thank you.
Number 22 on the market cap, $10 billion, and it's 64 billion that already in circulation. Yeah, we're going there. Stellar.
People need to realize that like some of these coins don't have a lot of adoption yet, but when they do, when they get major backers, that's when the price absolutely skyrockets.
Exactly. Think of Facebook and the meta and coming on Decentraland. Look what happened there. If I would have been still holding that, you know, when I told you I made 16x on that, I would have made a 45x on that. So that's turning $1,000 into 16 where I cashed out versus holding could have made 45. But it honestly doesn't even matter. That's just how it is. I still took profits, and that's what matters. XLM, Stellar. I'll always recommend Stellar. We are still to this day 60% below our previous all-time high. It has been nearly 17. Yeah, that was back in the beginning of 18. It has been nearly 4 years since previous all-time high. It is coiling up like a monster. I have no problem with saying that we're going to see a $2 Stellar in the next couple months of this bull run. Come down here, Cosmos, a beast. It's going to bring value to the internet and connect all things with it's not the Tango Ledger, that's IOTA. It's something like that though. I was buying this guy way back beginning of the last year at $5 a pop. So, you know, we're up 800% today. But again, Cosmos, I'm going to call it right now. This will be a 3-digit coin this bull run. Filecoin. You know, one of the guys I follow just put out a message the other day. You have to be in his class and group to get it. So I won't say who it is, but it is on Absolute Ripper. I previously rode Filecoin from $17 all the way to $230. Okay. So this one is ready to go again, calling for a $500 Filecoin. Again, not financial advice. But if we hit 300, take some profits. I'm not saying wait till 500. I'm saying take profits as we go up. Tron, a lot of people have dropped Tron, but when I go to Tron and I see that there's 637,000 people currently watching Tron, that tells me that this coin could do things, especially when you look at its ecosystem, partnerships with Solana. You see the price in that. Partnership with Algorand. You see the price of that. Partnership with Circle. Circle is going to become an international banking. Tron is a digital storage asset at 10 cents. Come on. This thing can do similar things that Filecoin can do. We're talking 10 cents for $61. Now, granted, don't get me wrong. There's 120 million File. There's 71.5 billion Tron, but both of them, their supplies are maxed out. They're all in circulation. These are the coins that I found where when you find a coin that they are all in circulation and there's not coins left to be distributed, these are the coins that will see parabolic moves. I've seen it time and time again. Phantom, I don't know a whole lot about this coin. I wish I would have because it had a really nice run. In my opinion, I wouldn't be buying it. I would have bought it when it was 17 to 45 cents. But now at that high up, I think we're going to come down. If you want to get into Phantom, wait till it comes down. Elrond, I wish I would have gotten to that one way back when it was, 50 bucks each. This one right here, Elrond, could go to a 4-digit coin. 4 digits sounds fancy, but to me personally, when it's already $320 each, not for me. If I was going to look at something like that, I would rather put my money into the very next one, which is Hedera Hashgraph, currently 38 cents. This is a monster waiting to happen. I see no reason in the world why Hedera Hashgraph could not go to being a double-digit coin based upon what they do. I'm not going to talk about Hedera too much. You're more than welcome to go to their main website and just take a look for yourself. It's definitely worth the time. Next is Tazos. $6.46. Tazos could be a absolute sleeping Goliath. Even at $6.45, we are coiled up, have found support near our previous all-time highs, and we are taking that floor over. We are ready to go. I will personally be taking profits on Tazos at $25 a coin. Right now, I don't know what percentage of the portfolio, but at 25, we will probably be taking about 10 to 15% of the portfolio. I believe in Tazos long-term, and I believe Tazos could be a 3-digit coin and see similar moves to Quant based upon its utility, its network, and its partnerships. Now let's talk about Mana. Holy crap. We went up so high and we came down so fast, all the way up to nearly $4 on some exchanges. Coin market cap $3.50. We're back down to 280. In my opinion, let's go to 3-month. Just again, just some internet guy. But if I were to get in it, I would say right now would be all right time to begin your dollar cost average. But I would wait for another slight pullback because, in my opinion, we could come back down to the $1.40 range. There's absolutely nothing holding it up there right now. Absolutely nothing.
This is true.
So that's why I would wait. There's so many coins. I'm taking a lot of time, so I'll just kind of skip a couple and break it down for you. EOS. I'm a big believer in EOS. There's no reason EOS should still be less than $5 if you want me to give it to you straight. EOS is a double-digit, if not triple-digit coin. It's a large Ethereum competitor, and they already have smart contracts. EOS is already quite literally doing the damn thing that Ethereum hasn't been able to do yet. Why have people not figured this out? Okay, moving on. Helium. Wow, if you would have got that a while back when those helium miners were popping and helium was like $5 each, man, you'd have a lot of money now if you were mining that. IOTA. Oh, wow. Internet of Things. Get your IOTA. This is not financial advice. I will be personally purchasing IOTA today at the $1.34 price. I won't say much about it. If you want to really get into these real assets, just go to their website. Just for God's sake, look at their website, and you're going to be like, this is like the most advanced website I've ever been in on the history of my time on the internet. And if that alone does not give you enough conviction to get this coin, look a little deeper.
All right. Well, let's not give them too much to chew off of, because you just spewed off a lot of information for them to take in. And I was here for the ride.
I'll wrap it up. I really have helped a lot, But long story short, do your own research. None of this is financial advice. I hope you look into these things that I have mentioned. And, the rabbit hole goes so much deeper than this. That was really just some of the coins in the top 50. And what I've learned lately is to find these sleepers, the hidden gems. They have low market caps, and they are on several pages past the first.
Well, is there anything you got to say to, I guess, the listeners before we wrap this up?
Well, I hope you guys all enjoy what I say. Sometimes I go on a little bit of a ramble or a tangent, but there's just so much to talk about, and I hope that you do see the lessons I'm talking about in these metaphors I say, because at the end of the day, do your research, put yourself around people that believe that this is also going to happen. You don't need to be hearing the naysayers every single day telling you, hey, this isn't real. Why are you putting your money in that? They just aren't going to get it. Stop wasting your time on those people. Stop trying to convince your friends and family and where they need to get this. You can tell them, but don't waste your time on overly convincing them, because it just doesn't matter. In the end of the day, this is for the people who have faith, and this will be a generational shift in wealth and power. And that is why we have not seen the utility or true regulation come into play yet, because there are currently battles going on of power and strength in the digital world. That's how.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Well, listeners, I hope you really enjoyed this one. If you want more money making advice on this next episode, I am still in talks with the corporate Mongol, Derek Michael DeJournis, on how you can better tap into the funds that you do have to set yourself up for success down the road. There's so many avenues. This is just one of many, but I think it's one of the main ones people should start looking at.
In the tap in, one last thing, maybe next time we talk, Alan, we'll talk about the different avenues that you can make money in crypto, because it goes so far beyond just buying these coins and storing them properly. You can get in NFTs. I'll do a little research, let you know if I do find any good projects, and we can also talk about how to create passive regenerative income streams.
Sounds like a plan, my man. Keep on keeping on and make those bags, motherfuckers.
Much love, man. Peace.
Thanks again for listening to the Wonder XP podcast and following along on the journey. Go ahead and rate, like, and share this to any of the social medias that you so happily desire. Also, go ahead, if you feel the need to, bringmetolife.com/WonderXP, where you can donate to the cause and help me bring more amazing people on this page. And if you feel that you need to understand yourself better, go ahead and sign up for an astro reading, where I will give you a detailed or summary version look as to what it is that makes you function and how you go about life. And as always, sometimes you just need to make your own adventure.